welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
What's up, Levi?
What's up, Jen? It's Alexander time.
I knew it. I was kind of hoping you'd be like, "What's up, Jen?" Without the, you know what's up, Alexander.
I guess I'm deflecting the question back to you in the form of an answer.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Well, here we go.
Because the entirety of what's up is too big to process in a soundbite, Jen.
Wow. Yeah, like mood.
And I told you what was up over the course of 20 minutes earlier on tonight.
True.
So this question is redundant.
I guess?
Agreed. Okay, moving on. So today we are playing through the first two instances of the creator, as in Alexander, the creator.
The creator.
That's A9 and A10 for those keeping track. But Jen, what happened last time?
Oh, okay. We got into the chest, right?
Zoom out a bit more.
It's a lot. And honestly, it's a lot, and it's all starting to bleed together.
That part I understand.
Okay.
Okay, I'll help you out, Jen. So last time we had finished off the sun, pretty much. Yes. We did all of the sun at once.
Nice.
Whole sun.
Hot.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. Over the course of said sun, we learned more about the Enigma Codex and about Mire's dark past. Mire being our
treasure hunter, quote unquote.
Quote unquote treasure hunter, actually the survivor of a band of knowledge enthusiasts who summoned Alexander to their misfortune. We found out the time before that Round Rocks was the only one that could activate the Enigma Codex, and then the Illuminati found that out, or they already knew it because they have future sight.
Correct.
So they kidnapped Round Rocks,
her.
And that is where we are now.
Right. And we have to go save her.
Yes, they also had turned back time and had undone all of our work, so we're essentially back in A1, or may as well be.
Right.
All of our work in the trash.
And we saw through Yashola's ether goggles.
We did.
That's exactly what they were doing. We could see ether going in, and then they reversed, and the ether got spilled back out as we were watching. The cores that we've decommissioned are not decommissioned at all.
Yes, they are recommissioned.
Recommissioned.
Or were never commissioned in the first place. Thank you, Jen, for that recap.
You're welcome.
And thank you to the peeps who ran with us today. Jen, who are the peeps?
The people were Granberria Ilias as warrior, Raven Ghostpaw as Dark Knight, Nefla Highwind as our sage, and Amnes Balefire as dancer, Seomi Hata as black mage, and Aki Maho as red mage. I was Dragoon, and Levi was Astrologian again.
Again.
Despite the heat.
Despite the heat?
The hate, sorry.
Oh, yes.
It did sound like heat. I got almost all of my gear leveled up for level 60 Black Mage, and I wanted to go in as that, but everybody showed up as a caster, and you were like, can we get a melee?
Astro needs a melee to dump the melee cards on, Jen.
It's true. I mean...
Thank you.
It was fine.
Oh my goodness. I
still need to install my new mouse. The scroll button is still broken, and that's my Swift cast button, so I need...
Well, good thing you're not playing a caster then.
It is my Shikuchi button also, which is a bummer to have to actually mouse down to the button and click it instead of just clicking the mouse button.
That defeats the purpose of Shikuchi.
I agree.
Great.
Yeah, all of my, I need to do something really fast, movement-wise. That's the button, and that button has been broken for
I find the scroll wheel button to be the most awkward button to press personally. I can't comprehend that being your fast button.
It is convenient, and it's not something that I can press accidentally.
That much is true.
Those are my criteria.
Great. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Thank you to those peeps that Jen said. Speaking of them, they may be confused as we ran A9 through A11 with them, but we are saving A11 for next episode for pacing purposes.
Yeah, we're doing a fucking Mockingjay here.
I don't know what that is, but I don't care. Here we go. Admin over. Let's go, Jen. We're in the place.
We're in the place.
We meet up with our Aura Alexander expert, Mide, out in the Dravanian hinterlands.
Oh, thank you for the preamble.
You're welcome.
Wow, okay. A Curl Kitten has shown up at the shortstop. Mide thinks it's Quickthinx's cat, Shanoa, which means Illuminati may be sneaking around nearby. And sure enough, Sid and Yashola produce a newly deceased minion, an Illuminati spy, And in his final moments, he kept babbling about how Quickthinx is a prophet, a traveler from the future sent to restore history or something, battle for which has already been won. The future is writ, and the Illuminati are the victors, apparently. Y'shtola and Sid were at Master Matoya's working on stuff when the kitten showed up, mewing as if she wanted them to follow, and they did. Now they're here. Sid is suspicious of this cat, for obvious reasons. She's always at Quickthinx's feet, but now she's out here all on her own. If only cats could talk. We're currently in the shadow of a walking civilization that can travel through time, so fuck it. You there, cat! You're Shanoa, Quickthinx's little familiar, aren't you? 2 mews for yay and 1 for day. Mew mew. Oh shit, it worked. Sid asks.
We don't know.
Do you want to go home? Mew. She doesn't. Amazing. Just then, Backrix remembers something. When Roundrox was telling him of her experience finding the fragment and the shivery shakes and all that, she remembers a black cruel child. Well, that would mean the kitten was present for the summoning 3 years ago, but how is she still a kitten? Well, the answer's time travel. The answer's always time travel. You got something you can't really explain? Time travel. Boom, just put a pin in it. Done. Dunzo. Put a fork in it.
We had this conversation last time, Jen.
Yeah, no.
Please cease your bullshit, Jen.
No. I am speaking my mind. Well, Y'shtola sees this as a troublesome development, and it means that Roundrox finding the Codex fragment wasn't an accident at all. Well, enough standing around talking, Sid says. We need to get deeper into that dad and or son. Luckily,
it's neither.
Creator.
Yes, thank you.
I know. I just wanted to throw in
This is the dad.
Some penetration jokes. Luckily, Wedge's, speaking of penetration, latest invention will allow us to get up in there. The group leaves to the Maker's Quarter, but Y'shtola stays behind for a moment to muse on the temptations and unforeseen consequences of traveling to the past. To travel back in time and set past wrongs aright. Who could resist such temptation? And how grievous the consequences of surrendering to it? For in allowing the past to consume us and making our every choice, our every action the correct one, would we not cease to live in the present and in turn lose sight of the future? 'Tis a path not to redemption, but to madness. Agreed. Well, the team stands in front of Alexander, excited to see what Wedge has in store. Though Mide figures if the future has already been writ, we're just walking straight into a trap. Biggs fills us in on the plan. We're attacking on 2 fronts, cutting off the primal source of ether, not our job, but Y'shtola's, and heading into the belly of the beast to rescue Roundrox. Without her, the Illuminati won't be able to use the Codex nor turn back time. The shortest route would be to enter through Alexander's head, which is currently behind the barrier, and that's where Wedge's invention comes in. It's called the BBG-2, Barrier Be Gone. The barrier serves 2 purposes, keeping people out, but keeping the primal trapped within. Therefore, once the barrier goes down, we'll need to move fast so we can get the barrier back up ASAP before it runs amok. Sid will fly us up in the Excelsior, and we'll jump down, we'll find a way inside, deal with some bullshit, then hop back on board the Excelsior, and then Wedge will go like boom and re-engage the barrier.
Boom, re-engage.
Yes.
And that we do. We are on board the Excelsior. We take to the skies, and Sid activates the device. It pulses, and the barrier is nullified, which means that the main body of Alexander is no longer suspended and surges into motion. The rocks suspended in the sky fall as Alexander rises up, exhaling a cloud of smoke. It's so thick, in fact, we can't make our approach by airship. So Sid drops us off on a nearby ledge, and we have to make our way in on foot. And this is where the instance begins. We make our way over the upper spires of Alexander, propelled by gusts of air, fighting a couple trash groups on the way. Eventually, we arrive at the spire that allows us internal entry, and we descend into some kind of furnace room. This is kind of like a smelter. There are metal grates on the floor that suspend us over a pool of molten liquid. In the center is some kind of horrid metal monster, like a forge-kin Frankenstein, with various parts bolted together in the shape of a torso and arms, and a twisted metal maw. This is Refurbisher Zero. This guy is surprisingly not an Illuminati creation.
Oh.
Yes. This is a Forgekin that's in charge of taking the damaged and scrapped Alexander Forgekin and fixing or refurbishing them.
Ah.
Until it sensed that its existence was in danger, presumably from our earlier forays into Alexander, and so to preserve itself, it upgraded its own body with the spare parts into its current monstrous form.
That's cool, actually.
Great. It's pretty scary looking, though.
Oh, yeah, it looks fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a tough fight. Even on normal synced without minimum item level, you still have to know the mechanics or you will wipe on it. On min eye level, it's even less forgiving. This fight is largely about area denial. The boss does tank cleaves and a lot of big AoEs in general, so you have to be very careful as to where you stand. The metal grates will sink down into the molten metal very often during the fight, so your safe areas get to be very narrow on occasion. Beyond the denial mechanics, there's also the adds mechanics. So you have to melt down scrapped Forgekin before they get dunked in the lava and explode, which wipes the raid or buffs the boss. During the fight, there'll be these Forgekin that drop down, and they're all beat up and stuff. So they're not active at the time. You need to use, or the off-tank needs to use these power nodes to give them like a boost to reactivate them, and then you bait them onto the platform that's about to get dunked in the metal, and then you DPS down the adds again so they fall down on the to-be-dunked platform. You clear out, the platform dunks and melts them down. That's the mechanic. As people in our raid were quick to point out, it makes no sense that these Forgekin are melted in seconds, though the metal platforms are just fine. It's super metal. Not going to worry about that.
Continuity.
But then we get the DPS check. A full metal Faust appears, alive, and we have to DPS it down before it gets dunked in the metal. Meanwhile, all 4 grates in the arena are going to be dunked in quick succession. So you have to bait the Faust towards the final grate, then burn it down so it gets dunked while deactivated versus walking around. If it gets dunked while alive, it will explode and wipe the raid, no question. I'm going to nitpick this. This makes no sense logically that you have to kill the Forgekin to nullify their power.
Right.
But either way, they're getting dunked. Yeah. But if they're walking around being dunked, it's bad. If they're down being dunked, it's fine.
Right. If whatever it is that's going to explode if they get molten metalled, it's still in them whether or not they're working or not.
Yes.
And also, it makes you doubly look at that contradiction because the way you treat Faust is basically the opposite of how you treat those other ads. We were trying to do with Faust what we had done with the other ads.
Yeah.
And that was wrong. You have to do it the other way around.
Yeah.
You got to kill them and then dunk and then not kill and then dunk or something. Or everything we knew didn't work for Faust.
You just got to dunk him later, Jen.
Dunk him later, you know?
Yeah.
No dunking now.
So the fight's fun. No complaints about that. And
Yeah,
the arena is very cool. The mechanic does not track if you think about it. So just don't think about it.
Again, it's not, there's no logic to it.
No more
so
thinking.
You can only fail. That's the only way you learn how to do it, maybe. Which I hate. I hate that.
Welcome to Savage.
I know. But it's a different discussion. Anyway.
Correct. So we have dunked our last. The Refurbisher Zero is down. We done it.
I really like the concept of the Refurbisher. I thought he was great.
Cool. Me too.
And you know, a structure like this needs him for waste
management. Needs a fix-it guy.
Yeah, fix-it guy. Well, obviously our plan worked. Yasholah's efforts have not. Efforts to cut off the Primal's ether have proved ineffective. And she can't understand why. She and Sid have been planting these Arcanima all over the place. And this was like part of the plan that they figured out with Master Matoya so that it would sever the connection between Alexander and the Earth. They've done absolutely nothing. And Sid is kind of like pissed off about it because he's like, I did all this work planning all this shit for that old witch. He's like a millimeter away from calling her some kind of horrible slur or curse word or something.
Probably inadvisable for Matoya.
I mean, I can understand having to work with her so closely for so long. He's probably losing his mind. Well, Yasholah feels that maybe Mide has something that she would like to share with the class, and Sid pushes her to reveal anything else she may have been holding back. The team's running out of options. Well, I don't know how much this is going to help, she says, but here goes. When Mide was a kid, and she was out playing, doing kid stuff, she was approached by a strange Elysian man who told her he had a puppy in his van over there. Wouldn't she like to go see it? The puppy in this case represents all of her heart's most fervent wishes, and they'll all come true if she listens to him. Reunite the scattered shards of the Enigma Codex and perform the sacred rite before the ruins that yet stand strong against the river's flow. Then, and only then, shall your hopes and dreams become reality. And he hands her a horn, apparently a catalyst for summoning. A gift from your friend Travanche. And then he disappears. And Y'shtola recognizes the name. I might have guessed that the Ascians had a hand in this. The horn, she says, is a lost relic of the ancients, with the power to manipulate the etheric energy in the air. The Scions have been looking for that horn since ever 1.0, and what's probably happening is the third core is using the horn to draw ether from all over the planet.
Yes, Jen.
Therefore, the attempts to stop it from drawing ether from this little patch of Earth have been futile.
You were correct that it's from 1.0, a lost relic from 12 years ago.
Yep.
I wish the devs would stop making these events from the old game integral to our ongoing storylines. It's a middle finger to us latecomers, which is the vast majority of the player population.
Right.
But here we are. There's no reason for there to be a 1.0 plot point here, but we have it.
And now we have someone who is an Ascian or somebody who is working with the Ascians who doesn't look like an Ascian.
Back in the original Limsa storyline, we had Travanche, an Ascian in the guise of an Elysian spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
His plot significance was fairly minor back then. He was engineering Sahagin attacks against Limsa and later went on to steal the horn in question from Seal Rock, like Y'shtola says, before vanishing into the ether, and that was the last we saw of him back in the day. The horn could be used to channel ether to summon primals then and now. We at last have the answer to the burning question, where's Travanche? Now we know that loop has been closed, Jen.
Yep. All right, great.
So the horn does not have much significance itself story-wise. This is an ether channeling device. According to a secondhand source, citation needed, a dev interview revealed that it was made of the same material as Louis Sua's staff, which does track given the surplus of ether that it can provide. That, Jen, is the horn backstory. Please take us away.
Thank you for that. Well, then our course is clear, Sid says. If the old witch's magics won't avail us, we shall just have to get inside and dismantle the core the old-fashioned way. Yes, but, Y'shtola counters, they could just reverse time again to before the core was destroyed, over and over again. We need to rescue Round Rocks and remove the Illuminati's ability to use the Codex at all. Y'shtola makes it clear that she considers the retrieval of the horn her responsibility. It was her own negligence that allowed Travanche to get a hold of it, so whatever help she can offer is ours, and thus Operation Rescue Round Rocks commences. Before we enter, Biggs is shocked to hear how all of this has escalated. Before it was just like a future of Eorzea problem, now it's a past, present, and future of the planet problem. Also, Backrix figured out the kitten wasn't Shanoa after all, just a doppelganger whom he named Schrödinger or something? Backrix sees Shanoa on top of Whirlycog Giant. This is different, Curl Kitten, so Backrix names her Schrödinger. What does it mean? Backrix does not know. Cute. Biggs also shares that they were able to explore Alexander a bit and figure out where Round Rocks is likely held. There is a central control chamber called Central Control, accessible via one of the floating platforms that travels between there and the big city thing that we saw. While we're making our way to the city, Sid and the others will be heading towards us via Midas, and when we meet up, we storm the control room.
We do that thing. We return to the belly of Alexander, to that sprawling metal city, the dark sky above, and the buildings all glowing with yellow light. We make our way through the raised streets until we get to the boss arena, which is a relatively narrow metal rectangle suspended at a great height. There are low metal walls on all sides and 3 lenses on the floor, spaced evenly along its length. We meet our boss here, a big metal armored gobby minotaur. Well, the horns are probably just decorative, but these are huge, curved, probably dragon horns on his helmet.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
This is Lame Brick's strike box. But the fight is not lame.
No, it's a lot.
One of our team members called it sensory overload, which I fully agree with.
Straight up.
Lame Bricks himself is no problem. He doesn't do much besides an occasional point-blank AoE or donut AoE, though the point-blank AoE is telegraphed with a triangle over his head, which makes no sense.
Sure.
But whatever, it is what it is. This, though, is just like one more element to keep you on your toes on top of everything else. Those floor lenses / buttons, these will light up at various times, each with a different icon. One has a spiky ball. This corresponds to 3 big spike balls that drop down from above and hit a fair amount of the platform.
You know what this reminded me of? Well, it should be the other way around because this came first. It reminds me of M7?
Okay.
Am I saying that right?
I don't recall the fight you're referring to, so I don't know. Oh, yes. I think that's M5, if I recall correctly. Jin is actually referring to M9, or the first fight of the final Arcadion series. Apologies for this vague conversation. But Jin, this is spoilers, so we are not needing to investigate this right now. Regardless, the second button has a bunch of spikes on it, which correspond to spikes shooting up out of the floor, which immobilize you. And the final button, which looks like a gem for some reason, corresponds to a hail of spines, which will shoot down the left and right sides of the platform, leaving only a narrow strip in the center safe. The problem here is those buttons will light up, but this isn't a telegraph per se. It just means that those moves are on the menu. Then at some point, Lame Bricks jumps on the button and triggers the effect with next to no warning. Pretty much you just have to avoid standing in the threatened areas as long as the corresponding move to said button is possible, because you don't know when the effect's going to trigger. Beyond the aforementioned point-blank / donut mechanic from Lame Bricks, which forces you to evade him through the threatened areas, this nebulous danger is further exacerbated by a boss tether, which you have to stretch and then other people have to clear out of. So you're having to run across the arena, which is hella dangerous potentially, to evade said boss tether. Also, there are these saw blades which will drop down on the sides of the arena and then will stab through it after a short time. So you have to be mindful of all those threats at once, the 3 possible telegraphs from the floor buttons, the point blank, the tether, the donut, the side saw blades. You have to be mindful of a lot, and the telegraphs are not super apparent. There's no convenient ground marker, so you have to be watching the environment constantly, and you can't get all this in one frame. You're either scanning a lot, or in our case, we were on voice chat, so people could call out, hey, this thing is coming up, so we could be mindful of that also. Either way, it's a lot going on. We limped to the finish line here. It was pretty dire on the winning pull. Thankfully, though, you get a break from all those mechanics midway through the fight with a simple DPS check, where a steamroller comes out and pushes his way down the arena. And you just burn this thing before you run out of space, no big deal.
Yeah, that's also in that other fight. Yeah. All of this, the spiky balls, the saw blades from the outside, and the steamroller mechanic, those were all recycled for the Arcadian shit.
With all that done, we have defeated Lame Bricks.
Lame Bricks. Why is his name that way? Everybody else has cool names.
And he's got
except for,
lame
Ratfinx
names.
Ratfinx honestly is kind of cool. But Lame Bricks, he doesn't look very lame. He looks very fancy.
I don't know. He's pretty tanked up. I wouldn't call it fancy, but please proceed, Jen.
Yeah. Inside Central Control, we find Round Rocks sitting in the brain drain chair. We did get a glimpse of her there last time when we got the little cutscene with the Quickthinx and his little followers having a fascist rally. So Sid and Y'shtola finally get a glimpse of the intact Codex and the third core, a mini Heidelin. And Round Rocks begins murmuring, yes, much swirly bright. Time wings can spread, travel to overtimes, make bad things good again. And Mide wonders aloud, do we truly have the power to change the past? I could erase my mistakes. I could see him again. Round Rocks hears her and wants to help. Despite her weakened state, she tells the Codex to reverse time to 3 years ago, before Mide lost her friends. Sid yells at her to stop, but she persists. There's loud whooshing and images of the world zooming by, and after a short time, everything stops. They're still in the river. They're still in Alexander. When they look down, they see Mide and her adventuring group starting the summoning process with the Codex. And Alexander begins to shake violently, and Midei's group outside can sense that something has gone terribly wrong. Just to be clear, this is Midei, Dayan, and her friends trying to do their summoning from 3 years ago. We're watching that happen all over again. Dayan yells at them, "This isn't right! We must abort the summoning! Quickly, Midei, the seal!" And Midei attempts to conjure the seal, but Quickthinx and his minions are poised on a deck on Alexander, watching them. The minions training their guns on Midei's friends. And they shoot 2 of them dead. And as we saw before in Midei's flashback, Dayan is sucked into Alexander's core.
During all this, we see Quickthinx writing furiously in a familiar-looking journal. Behind us and him, there is Shnoa, or Schrodinger, I guess, who starts to assault him by doing these cat jump kicks at Quickthinx. Quickthinx drops the journal, which goes flying off the edge of Alexander. Shnoa goes flying off the edge of Alexander, too, and lands in the grass on the shores of the Thaliac River. At the same time, Midei, who has just had her BF sucked into Alexander, she channels her energy through the codex again, and this barrier appears around Alexander, which causes the codex to overload and explode into fragments. One of the fragments cuts her down the face, giving her her signature scar. There are pieces of it everywhere, including one which lands way in the distance. We see a Gabi, unnamed masked Gabi, but we're assuming this, of course, is Round Rocks. A Gabi walks up and sees this codex fragment on the ground, and we see Shnoa trotting past it, thus fulfilling the prophecy, so to speak. As the barrier seals in Alexander, we are retransported back into the future / our present day.
Soon after, Alexander returns to the present. Quickthinx shows up in central control. Past is made right, and we return to now times. Treasure hunters' friends die, as it is writ, as it must be. Uplanders serve Quickthinx well today. There's a collective look of confusion among the group, so Quickthinx explains further for the stupid Uplanders. Time is flat round shape. All things Uplanders and Gobbies did, are doing, and will do. Doings happen over and over and over again, for all times. When Midei and her friends attempted the summoning, what they actually saw was us traveling back in time. Midei seems shell-shocked, grappling with the idea that time is an endless circle, that where her failure, her pain, was all foretold despite anything she could have or will do.
Time is a flat round shape, Jen.
Flat round shape. But there's no time to further ponder, and we all run to the platform to escape, except for Midei, who hangs back. Midei! Midei must hurry, Round Rocks cries. Midei refuses. Nothing remains for me out there. My future, my past, my reason for being, it all ended before it ever began. The platform descends without her, and Round Rocks is crying, Midei, no! When we meet back up with Biggs and Wedge, Biggs is glad to see Round Rocks, for sure. But now where's Midei? Round Rocks explains that she decided to stay inside Alexander, and it's all Round Rocks' fault, and she wants to go back in and save Midei. Sid tells her to leave that to the professionals. We finally know the truth of that summoning 3 years past. Somehow the Illuminati orchestrated our return to that moment of the past so they could massacre Midei's friends, and Midei's only goal was to get back inside, hoping that Dayan's soul still lived in the machine. Not even a soul could survive that. Y'shtola surmises that all that's left of him is heat and light. Well, now that we have Round Rocks back, the Illuminati can't turn back time no more, and it's time to head back in and deal with the third and final core.
That's where we leave off for today, with us back in the present day. Now we are up 1 Round Rocks. We are down 1 Midei.
down
Net
Roundrock's or
positive.
Backrick's journal.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. Why do you not like Mayday?
I don't dislike her. I just think that Round Rocks is better.
Yes, we love Roundrocks.
Mayday's an odd character in that I don't really feel that attached to her. Maybe it's because she's so mopey all the time. I don't really feel that much affinity for her.
She's like besties with Roundrocks, and that is a testament to her character. And that's kind of all the testaments to her character we have.
Yes.
Because she's kind of just living in the past all the time.
I think part of it might be that she's kind of our encyclopedia for Alexander too, and she just keeps things back until it's convenient to drop.
Sure.
It's too soon, Jen, to do our retrospective on Alexander. That's next episode. I don't know. She's just kind of there in terms of like a functional perspective, just to tell us Alexander facts.
Yeah, she was the catalyst for all of this.
I hadn't thought about it till now, but I don't think I like Mayday very much, actually.
Like
now that I'm thinking about it.
Fine.
She's fine.
She's fine. Yeah.
She's got a cool scar. Cool face scar. She's got cool
scales.
Blue scales, yeah. No, Jen loves those.
I do love those.
But that's about it. I was really on the fence about talking about this, but I'm just going to do it now because we'll get a full episode next time, I'm sure. And I think that the cat is out of the bag, Jen, so to speak.
Ew.
We see in the final cutscene of the episode, Backrix is writing in a red-brown journal.
Yeah.
It falls down in the past. If we're savvy, we see that this is the same journal as what Quickthinx has been reading the entire time.
Exactly.
Jen, if you're clicking around NPCs, which many people don't, but many people do, you can actually talk to his fucking name drops out of my head every single time I think about him. Backrix. We can ask him what happened. When we say, okay, so what happened in like A1, A2, etc., he has little recaps for us for every single raid we've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If we say, hey, what happened in the very beginning? He says, all right, I will read you Gabi account. The quote speaker in this is Watcher Book.
Watcher Book.
As in, it is the book he writes in while watching. The first entry is Illuminati posed a threat to Idleshire from their stronghold inside Charlayan ruins. But when stronghold becomes Colossus of Iron and begins to climb out of river, does Gabi flock turn to Scions for aid? But wait, Jen, there's more. Odd nature of barrier is not only worry. At every step, Illuminati seem to know what will happen next. Quickthinx knew Mayday's fragment was fake and saw through Biggs and Wedge's efforts to deceive him. Perhaps Quickthinx is not such an addlebrain, but there is no explanation for abrupt loss of power to Mayday's platform. Quickthinx stopped directly under Mayday and waited patiently for fragment to drop into his hands. To suggest Quickthinx somehow planned that series of events is complete unsense.
Unsense.
Hear that, Jen? Is unsense.
Yeah.
This is not underlined until next episode, but screw it. The book that Quickthinx has been reading is this Watcher book that we have just seen dropped by Backrix. Thanks, Jen.
B-Rix. Yeah. So it's basically Backrix's like diary.
Yes.
It gets knocked out of his hands. Quickthinx gets it, and then he's able to see the sequence of events that leads up to all of this shit, and he can just do it.
Yes, and yes.
So, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, his prophecy is Backrix's fucking diary, man.
Yes, it is. And of course, we're now in the present day, so who knows how that'll unfold for Quickthinx next time.
Well, right. I mean, so
because
technically...
the Watcher book now ends.
Right. There's nothing else to read. Now what?
Beyond that, though, Jen, I don't really know how I feel about this plot beat. It feels cute at first glimpse. It's either way too obvious or way too obtuse. Until now, we've never seen Backrix. We've never seen Backrix writing in the journal till the final scene where he drops it. Though he's been doing this all along. And if you talk to him about the account, we can get a clue about this, yes. But if you're not doing that, then it's like journal out of nowhere.
Right.
And suddenly, conveniently, right before he loses it, we see him writing in it for the first time.
Yeah, he's had his nose in a book a lot of the time, looking up knowings and thinky things and stuff like that. When he popped up with that book in particular as writing in it, it did seem like, this is more of the shit that he's been doing the whole time.
I don't know.
It didn't seem that out
I feel
of nowhere
like
for me.
Writing in this book while people are being gunned down on shore is really, I don't know. He's never been here live tweeting his adventures until now.
That would have been an easy thing to show, but I guess it would have shown us how the sausage was made.
Exactly. So it's kind of frustrating, I think, ultimately, that this linchpin book has been hidden from us. Because if you saw it, it would give it away early on. And that's the twist, right? Is that the future knowings are just the past tellings. The concealment of the book is so artificial up till now. It feels to me, I think, a bit dissatisfying. I feel like it needs one more level of cleverness to really make it stick. It's purely from a lack of the quote camera showing us this thing that we've been caught off guard by it. If it were a bit more obtuse, it could have been in plain sight for us the entire time.
That's what I'm thinking, is that instead of the book could have been like laying open, so we didn't know technically what the cover looked like. We could have just seen Backrix writing in it. Every time we walk up to him, for example, he could just be writing in this thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there he is writing in his book again. Towards the end, we see him close the book, and then we can make that connection. Oh, this is the book that Quickthinx has been carrying around this whole time.
Yes.
Something like that.
I think it just needs like a ramp up.
Yeah.
And if you are checking things out, you can see, okay, so the cover that's open, it looks a little bit brown or red or whatever, sure. And if you're paying attention, you can get a clue as to what's going on here. If you're not, then you can be blindsided. But if you play it again, you're like, oh, hey, this looks familiar.
You're right.
I remember this twist, Jen, from the first time we played this, and I was watching for it and did not get that hint. I only knew about it because I have been talking to every NPC along the way.
Yeah, I noticed.
Thank you. Anyway, that's all. Just my thoughts about the book reveal. Thoughts about Alexander as a whole, to be continued next time.
TBD.
Any other comments from you, Jen?
No, I guess I'm just confused that Mide wants to stay behind in Alexander. Like, why? There's Illuminati in there.
I think she has lost her lust for life,
Will
Jen.
to do anything. Yeah, but don't do it in there.
I think that might be the point, is to just get arrested or die. I want out of this flat round shape.
Sure. It just seems a little drama queenie to me.
It is drama queenie. True. She has seen that every step she's taken to date. She came to us initially because she wanted to find her
So
BF
she chooses
again.
to live and die in the thing that will constantly remind her of her failures?
She dies in it. She dies in it. She's not
that?
reminded by her failures anymore. She comes to us trying to find a way to reconnect with her BF. Hope against hope, whatever, is the last shred. And she's been going through all this work with us to, like, she's having internal struggles. I'm turning this thing off. It's the, quote, good thing to do, even though it's taking me further away from him. We've gone through 10 raids of shit with her, and now it's revealed that she's essentially dancing to her own tune, not in like the independent way, but to the tune she's played in the past.
Sure.
She has no agency to her knowing, and she's like, well, fuck. I feel like I've just been made a fool of by myself or by Alexander. Pick one. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm not saying it's the right call, Jen. I'm saying that there is a track laid for this.
No, I get it. Narratively, I'm like, sure. Yeah, she's going to hang back. She's like, you know what? Yeah, everything you just said. I'm just being annoying.
You are.
By
Sorry,
I'm
no.
like, girl, like, does the city in agriculture or whatever, does that even like work right now?
I don't think she wants to live, Jen. That's the thing.
That's upsetting too. Go outside where it's pretty and there's fresh air. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's all.
She's processing, Jen. It's a bad time to get shocked, but
all right.
It's the time that happened. Anyway, thank you, Jen. Thank you to our team who joined us. We had so much fun doing these raids with you all, and we will see you next time for the Alexander finale.
And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And speaking of flat round shapes, that's me in a mammogram, am I right? Ayo.
Wow.
If you're over 40, get them shits. If you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We're on the Blue Sky at the same tag. Check the show notes for our Discord and a link to the official pod t-shirt. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. If you would like to support the pod that way, that would be fucking amazing. We got a couple of tiers. For $1 a month, you get access to all the other stuff that we do. That would be like the seasonal episodes or the seasonal events rather, from 14. We talk about like anything that comes out, like the tabletop, the card game. We did Mahjong recently. Anyway, that's all there. And then for $2 a month, you get all of that plus our bonus series, Sightseeing Log, where we play other games like 11 and 6. Maybe eventually we won't play Final Fantasy games. We'll play other things.
Incorrect.
Yeah, our we've got scheduled for the next 15 years is booked. With that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.